As Bhushan said, it is mentorship, a vital part of your Toastmasters pathways and mentor success. This is a journey that we all have decided to take. You see this big wave here, and you may be wondering, oh my goodness, why is there just a wave there? This, for me, represents how I felt when I joined Toastmasters. I was overwhelmed by the amount of information that was out there, as well as realizing how much I didn't know about Toastmasters and the process. Did you feel the same way when you joined Toastmasters? I asked myself several questions. How will I ever be able to connect all of the Toastmasters dots that I had learned about listening and talking to people? How would I ever teach myself to navigate through pathways? And what is pathways anyway? How will pathways fit into my Toastmasters journey? The one thing I knew for sure is I did not want to feel this uncertainty and have this lack of knowledge and let it keep me from being successful in Toastmasters. I didn't just keep these questions to myself. I began to ask in the members in the club where I visited and then later joined all the questions that I had in my mind. And what I realized is Toastmasters had already provided the solution to all the questions that I was having through mentors, being on your club level, and then the mentorship program that is provided inside of the Toastmasters educational program. I want to engage you all in the next few minutes in a discussion about the mentor-protege relationship, as well as the Pathways Mentoring Program, and how these two things are vital to your Pathways and Toastmasters success. So come along with me on this journey. What is mentorship and the Pathways Mentors Program? Mentorship is a period of time when a person decides to guide someone through a particular process as a mentor. The mentor you may have already picked, or the mentor that you may pick into the future, is critical to form and develop on your Toastmasters journey. I'll talk much more about that in a little while. The Pathways Mentors Program is a great pathway that opens to every member after they finish their level 2 in any of the 11 pathways. This is a great way for you to reinforce your leadership skills and to build positive relationships along the way. It's not required, but I encourage each of you under the sound of my voice to consider it. As the mentor, as well as the protege, you both get something from this relationship that is formed. One of the things is self-awareness. A lot of times we go through life and are not really aware of how we're really feeling, how we're really thinking, how our leadership skills that we already bring to the table can help someone else move from point A to point B. So it gives that mentor that type of insight. It also is a portal for developing a better one-on-one communication, for helping somebody counsel that person so that they can go from one point to the next. Coaching is another good thing that it helps with being a mentor. This creates for you in the Toastmasters realm a legacy. There are names that we could all name off. Oh, I know so and so. They did XYZ. They spoke. Their mentee was so and so. We all know people like that. This gives us as Toastmasters a way to pay it forward. Everyone has had to ask questions at some point of someone about something within the Toastmasters realm, because there's simply too much information to have it all under control by yourself. So why is a mentor vital to your pathway's success? A mentor's role is a supporting role to the protege. They help the protege to take personal responsibility for the goals that they've set for themselves within their own Toastmaster journey. The mentor-protege relationship, as I stated before, is mutual, because just as you are giving out of your skill sets to that protege is giving back to you thoughts and ideas that you may have not come across just on the basis of how they have learned to navigate the world. Toastmasters has a unique system of club membership and the Pathways educational program. Both of these are prudent to have a mentor to help you to smoothly navigate through all the different tools that open up to you once you have signed up for a path. The Navigator Manual, for example, opens up. There's plenty of information in those 26 pages, but if you don't know what to start with or where to go to find what you're looking for example, how do I do the first project or speech? What are required speeches versus elective speeches and projects within a pathway? The mentor can help you, especially in your level 1, to get through those. Then when you get to levels 3 through 5, this is where it's critical mass for your mentor, because you don't know if it's the first time in pathways. You don't know what is elective, what is required. I know when I began a year ago, my mentor was instrumental in helping me, because when I got to level 3, it opens up, it has the required, which is at the top, and then it had like 13 different elective projects. And I looked and I said, oh my goodness, do I have to do all 13 of those before I get to finish level 3? It seems silly to me today, over a year later, but a newcomer never seeing the program, my mentor was instrumental in, wait a minute, no, this is what you need to do. And just by the nature of being a scientist, I like mapping things out. Where am I starting? Where's the middle? And where am I going from here? Why is a mentor vital to your Toastmasters success? It may seem like a redundant question, but it's not. Success is the key word in this slide, and all through it, you see relationship, relationship, relationship. Your well-established mentor should be instrumental in helping you as the protege build relationships with club members that you don't know, because you may be new to the club or new to the Toastmasters process altogether, as I was over a year ago. Also, that mentor has already developed his or her relationships outside of the club. So they are instrumental in helping you build strategies to meet people outside of the club, to know how to navigate through the Toastmasters membership. And Zoom has been actually a great way for mentors to encourage proteges, get on the Zoom, visit another club, see how other people are doing things. This will inform how you may want to do certain things or things that you may have not thought of. The mentor should be committed to helping the protege, such as crafting their prepared speech. This is especially pertinent in level 1 because it all looks like a foreign language if you don't know any better. In level 1, the protege is not only developing skills for navigating through the pathways, but they are also gaining confidence in the idea that, hey, I can public speak, because most of us, if we're keeping it real, when we came to Toastmasters, no matter what our professional levels were, we were scared to death to give that icebreaker speech. So the protege that you have will have that same feeling of inadequacy, that feeling of not knowing how it's going to go. And the mentor should be able to guide that person in such a way that they're not only building their technical skills and showing them how to craft that first speech or two, but also giving them that foundational confidence that they already have the goods to do public speaking. My mentor used to tell me all the time, you already have what it takes, you just don't know it yet. And he was correct. He pulled me many times outside of my comfort zone. I'm going to spend a little time here on this particular space. How do I find a mentor suitable for me? This is going to require from you some introspection, because I know for myself who this woman in the mirror is. So my first bullet is the man or woman in the mirror. Have a conversation with yourself, identifying the type of person that you feel would be suitable for your personality, for helping you to set goals, someone that you could see yourself following for a sustained period of time. Write down what you may need out of your mentor, and equally write down what then is my investment as the protege in this relationship that we are going to build. What type of qualities should a mentor have? What should I be looking for? And that's why I want to take my time. I'm going to share with you a few things to consider, either with your current mentor, are they meeting these needs or have any of these qualities? Or if I'm choosing a mentor, some of the things maybe you should consider looking for as you step out into that realm. A mentor, first and foremost, should be knowledgeable of both the pathway's mission and value statements. so that they are following what Toastmasters stands for. And then they should have a wide spectrum of expertise, bringing skills to you to teach you how to craft your speech, how to present your speech, maybe some things that they found as pitfalls in their journey that they can offer to you as suggestions so that maybe you don't hit that same pitfall as a protege. Some mentors may be more effective in onboarding new members, getting them ready for their level one, showing them how to navigate through the navigator manual that I spoke of earlier, getting them prepped for that first speech, that icebreaker speech. And then there are others that may be best suited for people, helping people that are long-standing members that are working through either a challenging leadership project or through this Pathways, which is our new educational program, and it's digital. It's not like the legacy manuals. So no big I's or little U's within this learning process because we're all taking it step by step by step. And the mentor should be there with you every step of the way. The mentor should offer wisdom to you in how to approach other members or other tasks or things that they have found that work, navigating through all things Toastmaster. They should have a positive and supportive, helpful attitude towards you, the protege. They should help you create successful strategies for your Toastmasters journey. Keyword your. And the mentor will be instrumental in having that unconditional support, giving you support without judgment. They may have an idea of how they would approach a certain project or a certain speech, or I would do it A, B, C, D. Well, maybe the protege will do it E, D, C, but that's okay because it's the protege's journey. And the mentor must keep that in mind. Tailored feedback should always be respectful and caring. When the mentor is making suggestions to the protege, because they should have a sense of each other in a short period of time, because they should have done things like communication logs, or how are we going to communicate, or these are the things I like, or these are the things that I fear in this journey, and so forth. So with that in mind, when the mentor is giving tailored feedback before and after speeches and projects, they want to make their suggestions and feedback tailored and coordinated with the protege's goals and personality, because the mentor never wants to be in a position to where it's, you don't know, I would have done that so differently. You should have listened to me. You should have just taken my advice and did it just as I told you. That member is probably going to go away at that point. It must be that you keep in mind it is their journey. You, as the mentor, suggest and gently move them forward in ways that will be helpful to them. Mentors should be committed and dependable. If you say you're going to do something, if you say you're going to help with something, if you say you're going to be there for the prepared speech or help craft, do that, because it is so important as you establish a foundation for your protege. I know that I have spent an enormous amount of time here. But I think in the age of doing Toastmasters on Zoom, as well as the different ways that we are having to find to communicate and establish ourselves with our proteges, with our mentors, that it was worth going through some of those things, because just because you are on the screen, maybe talking to someone, they're still people. They still have feelings. They still want to go somewhere and are dependent on you as the mentor to get them there. With the mentor program, which I am in the middle of right now, it has been instrumental in helping me to see different ways that I can deal with my protege. We talk about just about everything, how to communicate. Oh, I didn't quite understand what it is that you were trying to convey. Can you repeat that? Or let's find a different way to get from point A to point B. What does a mentor bring to enhance my personal Toastmaster journey? Your mentor is like a how-to guide. When we want to do something we've never done before, we are usually looking for that how-to guide to get it done. A mentor is much the same. They are your go-to person. Listen to them as the protege. Hone in on the feedback that they give you, because mentors, and especially I've noticed in Toastmasters, most of them aren't just really fulfilling a required role. It's a volunteer organization, so they're there to help you and to stretch themselves. The mentor has empathy for the protege based on the fact that they too, once upon a time, did not know all the answers to Toastmasters and how its processes work, as well as many unanswered questions. A good mentor should have a leadership style which allows the protege to blossom. And that word blossom, set them and put them in positions to where they can blossom. Encourage them to take on roles within the club, to take on and do more than that icebreaker speech in a timely manner. Go out when we get back to in-person meeting. Step out of your comfort zone to do other things. The mentor will be instrumental in making sure that that protege steps out and then meet and exceed their personal and professional goals. Here I want to also spend a bit of time. What do I do if a conflict arises with my mentor? In life, we have conflicts if we're dealing with people. We even have conflicts if we're just dealing with our computer, because they don't always work. Conflict resolution is essential. If you hear nothing else in this presentation, hear that, because conflict, if you haven't had it, you will have it. It is essential to confront and address those feelings that have come up or situations that have come up head on. Because if you don't, it will just lay there and fester. You will end up thinking, oh my God, he thought this or she thought that. Why didn't they come talk to me? Why did they say that? When if you address it head on, you should have an honest, open conduit of communication to where you get to the bottom of it. You get to a place to where it's like, yes, I understood this and I won't do that, but I'll handle it this way. Can you deal with that? Take all the time that you need in the conflict resolution. It may be more than one conversation that you may have to work through and work out an amicable resolution for both of you. You have to keep talking. A lot of times people may try once, maybe even twice, and say, oh, they're never going to hear me. Why should I even bother? Just forget it. Some people at that point, when they say just forget it, may not take on another mentor or just sit there and just stall in place. Can I or should I ever change my mentor? An unequivocal yes, I will give to that. You can, and this is something I only learned a few months ago, you can change your mentor, and you can even change your mentor to someone that is outside of your home club. We have a wealth of excellent mentors in District 7. And if the one that you are fitted with right now, you guys have had a conflict and you can't reach resolution, maybe that resolution is to make that change. May not be easy, may be hard, because both the mentor and the protege have invested so much time in each other that it may be a hard place to go, but you don't want to stay stalled, because the goal is to reach your Toastmasters success story. It's yours. You own it. The mentor may even be the one that asks for that change off. And either way, that's okay, because the outcome should be success for the mentor, for the protege. And if for some reason you can't make it work, don't worry about fault finding. It's okay. These things happen. It goes back to where I started in the presentation, looking at the man or woman in the mirror and saying, is this creating my best success story? And if that answer is no, it may be time to move on. I know that I have personally provided a lot of information. I have talked a lot, and now I want to hear from you. What has been your experience with mentors? They can be stories where you had a conflict and had to move to something else. They can be success stories where you worked through a conflict and stayed with that mentor and the relationship's better than ever. There's only two requirements: honesty and being willing to offer some approach that you think will be mutually beneficial to the group here in helping move forward in their Toastmasters journey. So, Bhushan, if you would look for people and open up for them to communicate their stories, I would appreciate it. I can't see everybody at this point.
What would you like me to do? Would you like me to ask them to ask questions, or just?
If they want to share a story, just identify people in the audience that may want to share a story, and then let them speak. Let them unmute and speak.
Okay, so let's follow that procedure, please. Just if you have anything to share, interesting, to contribute to this session, please speak out.
Do we need the slides up still? Because I can't see everybody either.
Yeah, it will be
Okay.
helpful. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that also. Stop screen sharing, then we can see everybody better.
Right.
Okay, excellent.
And there is a question in the chat room also. I'll just go ahead and read that. Is there a guideline? Where'd it go? It just moved. Is there a guideline or some help on how and what the mentor should be teaching? And that's from Lori Farron.
I would say there are guidelines within that navigator manual that I talked about, as well as some of the things that you learn in that Pathways Mentors program. It is guiding you through with your protege and teaching you different things to teach them. And also some of it is going to be playing it by ear, because again, some of it may not be technical things. Some of it may be indeed and in fact that they have questions navigating people, having fear of speaking, and you're addressing those things. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I was just curious if there was like any specific guidelines that the mentor should follow in terms of helping the mentee with their goals, or if it should just be an open conversation. Hey, I'm your mentor. Where are you at in the process? What are you struggling with?
Absolutely, that you should start just as you said, because you want to establish a communication with your protege and say, what is it that you hope to get? Because that's the starting place, is what do they want to achieve in Toastmasters? And once they have identified that, then you as the mentor then begin to talk about ways that you think maybe they can get there. And you have a conversation to and from. And then you just reach those milestones together with that protege. Anybody else?
I have a comment. This is Lisa Shoup. I have a comment, and just two things. It's very important when people join a club that somebody help them, whether it's a formal mentoring thing. I can't tell you how many people would never sign up for the Pathways part of it if somebody didn't show them how to do it and encourage them. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, once you complete 2 levels and that mentor, there's all kinds of great documents. There's the beginning part. It's something about being ready to mentor, and then short-term mentoring and long-term mentoring. It's something that it does count toward a triple crown. I don't think we get any kind of check in our DCP, but it does count. And the documentation is really good. I always felt like before in the legacy program that there was no set way to do it, but it's really critical. That's all. No question, just a comment.
Absolutely. Agree with you 100%. And that Pathways Mentor program opens up after you have completed your level 2 in any of the 11 pathways.
Charlie has a question. Charlie raised his hand. Charlie, you have a question?
Yes, I do. When I joined Toastmasters 5 years ago, I was assigned a mentor who promptly left the club, and the elderly VPE never got around to assigning me another one. Is there such a thing as remedial mentoring? I'm president of my club, and I still feel like I'm walking through a dark warehouse worrying about a guard dog. You know, I need help, even though I'm supposed to be in charge. Thank you.
Charlie, thank you for the question. I started this presentation with that big wave, and I'm sure that all of us are feeling that with the new Pathways educational program. I always remind people, and especially when I'm talking to the committee that I chair for Pathways, I tell them we are all learning and beginning this together. So that when they go out talking to people or teaching or doing these presentations on pathways, to make sure to find out what that president, what that VPE needs, because they are essentially your eyes and ears into the club in your division. If you are needing more assistance, reach out to your division pathways proponent and they can help you. I have folks that are out there doing presentations once and twice a week in clubs that are trying to learn and understand pathways, trying to gain the fundamentals of pathways and helping people some one-on-one to get started. There are people that are quick-witted on the computer and others like myself that's intermediate and others that computers are just not a thing that they've used in their everyday life. So we are meeting people where they are. So if you would reach out to your division pathways proponent, if I might ask you, what division are you in, Charlie?
I believe it's division. I'm not sure offhand.
Okay.
I think it's D.
Oh, okay. Well,
And-
yeah, D is in dog. I was going to say D7, but I thought they meant district.
You have a gym. Your division pathways proponent is Phyllis Harmon.
I see that.
And she, if you reach out to her, she will be able to answer anything that you need. And on the end of those slides, which I'll put in the chat box, my email, I had on that question slide, my email for people to be able to reach out to me, but I will put it in the chat so that if you can't reach Phyllis, reach back out to me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
So we have a couple of questions in or suggestions as well in chat. And the first one we have is from Kevin Wood. Kevin, would you like to say it or you want me to read it out? Kevin Wood. Okay, the next question is from Elena Sobel.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
So
Elena.
I'm wondering how much of a time commitment being a mentor usually entails. We don't have any mentors in our club, and it sounds like a really terrific idea to start, but people will want to know what it's going to entail because everyone's busy.
Absolutely so. You can be a mentor for someone through a project or a speech. That's a short-term commitment. In your club, most of the time, people want to see at least a 6 months commitment because you're helping that person find their footing, find their foundation. That's more of a long-term commitment that I was talking about when I was giving all of those different attributes. Your sustained mentorship should have all those qualities because you are busy. There are going to be times when it feels like you want to pull your hair out because you don't really have the time needed to give to your protege, but yet you have to cog out some time because it's the commitment you made. So you can do a short term through a speech or through a project, or you can do a more sustained or longer, which is that 6 months commitment. Now in the Pathways Mentors program, you start with a short-term commitment, but then to finish it into the advanced mentoring, it is required that you have that 6 months with someone.
Mm-hmm. Good. So Kevin has a message again. Let me read Kevin's question here. He wants to know, just a sec here. I missed it. He wants to know if the program should be started or assign mentors. Specific question is, I would have to my main question I would have is how to get it started. Seems like it's either one assigned mentor to have the member ask for a particular person to be a mentor. What is your opinion about that, Dr. Avington?
Yes, inside of your club, it's handled differently from club to club. For instance, in my home club, we have a mentors program to where the VP of membership greets each guest, and then when they become a member, then they assign them a mentor within the first 30 days of them being inside of our club. Some people don't want a mentor. And in that instance, we let them go at their own pace, ask questions as they need to, and usually they end up down the line saying, can I get a mentor?
Mhm.
Those clubs that don't have the membership program or don't have maybe enough people to have that, you can have people that have finished their level 2 go in and at least look at that mentor's program, because it's another way to get trained and then pay it forward. As I said in my presentation, someone helped you, help someone else. This is the growth of Toastmasters. We are all here championing each other to stretch, grow, and learn.
Wonderful. Karen also has a suggestion about that. Karen Rozovic, if I said your name right, would you like to share a suggestion, please?
Did you call me?
Sure, I can answer
Thank
that question.
Yep.
I was just mentioning that our Ben Chamber Toastmasters, the way that we have it set up is that when people join the club, we offer them a mentor. And at the time that we were doing more mentorship, we had a bigger club, about 20 people with a lot of new members. So we were offering mentorship through level 1, and then people were kind of on their own. But I myself, after I went through the mentorship process, if I was doing something, I would periodically ask other people for help about how to do things. So it was a set period of going through level 1 with the option of asking more help as you need it.
Very good. Thank you, Karen.
I just wanted to comment that in my club, there's sometimes a thought that only the new members should get mentors, but I think it's also important to realize that all members really can benefit from having a mentor, even the ones that have been there for many years.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nathan was listening to the presentation, because that is the takeaway. Because with being in Pathways, we all in some way are new members because we're learning how to navigate Pathways.
And to support Gwendolyn's presentation, I posted in chat notice of an incentive that we're running in the district this year for the Pathways Mentor Program. If you complete the Pathways Mentor Program by the end of the program year, June 30th, you'll be entered into a drawing for a chance to win a Toastmasters core jacket, cardigan, or hero hoodie. So there's an incentive there for you to complete the Pathways Mentor Program this year.
Very good. I think Elena has a comment to make or something.
Yes, I had another question. How does it, if you want to mentor, let's say, all right, let me start again. Can you mentor somebody who's ahead of you in Pathways? Who's done more speeches than you've done, is more experience? Do you have to only mentor people who are less experienced?
That answer is that yes, you can mentor somebody else, because you may have a skill set that you have from working out at your organization, that you see that person struggling on a project, then yes, you can offer your help. There are, my mantra on my committee is there are no big I's or little U's. We are all helpers one to another.
Mhm.
Nice. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions, comments?
I got a quick one.
Sure,
I just discovered accidentally that if you try to use spell check in chat, it sends your message without finishing the sentence. So sorry, Dave.
Good observation. Anyone else? Well, if nobody else have any questions, I would like to make a little comment. I've been a mentor, but not involved as much as other people like Dr. Avington is. But I have also seen myself providing small suggestions to people every now and then, and they took those suggestions, and I've seen people improving just by taking those suggestions. It's not a formal situation, but people might take your suggestions if you give them in a way where it's polite, your empathy, and really it's a wonderful situation if you can be in that situation. Okay, anything else anybody would like to share?
I want to thank everyone for coming to this presentation. I really hope that you guys got things that you can take out into your Toastmasters club and work as a mentor, or if you are a protege to someone, really evaluating what the two roles entail. You as the person being guided, if you're the protege, or you as the mentor, the enormous responsibility that you have taken on for hoping to help someone else be successful in Toastmasters. It is critical because we are on Zoom. We're losing members as far as people not wanting to be on the Zoom.
Right.
You can be instrumental in saying, come along with me.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, wonderful. And I second that. You have given us some beautiful, wonderful nuggets, and hope we can all take it to our clubs and follow up your advice. With that, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the audience for a wonderful presentation, giving us the advice. We will carry it with us. Thank you very much, Dr. Avington.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all.
And this completes this session. PJ?
And okay, thank you, Bushan.
Thank you, Gwendolyn.
And
Yes.
Gwendolyn, I posted in the chat window all of the links for the next round of breakout sessions. The webmaster or Zoom master should be opening those rooms at 10 o'clock for a 10:15 start. So you have a few minutes to take a break. Thank you very much, Gwendolyn, for finishing early. That's always a bonus, giving us back a few minutes. Yes. An excellent presentation, lots of great information on both being a mentor and a protege. And one thing I just want to add, after many years in leadership positions, I tend to be a bit of a control freak, so I want to do things myself. And one of the lessons I learn over and over again is that the role of a mentor is to give the other person the skills to do it themselves. And if you give them the skills and the tools to do it themselves, the questions before about how much time commitment is this, well, that should taper off, because as you give them skills to find the answers themselves, then they don't need to ask you every single question. So that's my advice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
I will keep the room open here for just a little bit longer if anybody does want to make any more comments.
Yes, I have a question, PJ.
Yes.
So when this person was asking, I don't remember who was the member, asked about how do I know who to go to? For instance, I belong to Wake Up Beaverton, So if I don't want to bother the members in my, because everybody is busy, and I am kind of hesitant to call people or ask them for the block time for Zoom to navigate with me through the system. So Phyllis Harmon was his club district go-to person. Who would be my club go-to person?
You're in Division H, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. What was your club? It's Beaverton, right?
Wake Up Beaverton is, I think, part of District 7, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yes, District 7, but each division within the district. So in Beaverton, you would be Division H. So Gwendolyn,
Can I pipe in?
their go-to
Yeah.
person.
Can I pipe in?
Dave Bones, who's piping in.
Yeah, there's your guy right there.
Oh, Dave. Oh, yeah, I know Dave Bones. I met him at the Feedbackers Club.
Yes,
when I-
Emmy, which club are you in again? I'm sorry.
Oh, hi, Dave. I am part of Wake Up Beaverton.
Oh, very good. I think you actually have Vice President of Pathways. I believe you're on my list. I can look.
Yeah, yeah, she volunteered 2 weeks ago, Kim. So we have to go to her then. And I don't want to. She's a student, busy, and I feel, I don't know. I
Emmy,
feel like,
can I-
okay, it doesn't end with one Zoom. It's going to be lots of Zoom.
Oh, absolutely. And can I share one last thing for you?
Yes, sir.
I am up 24/7 on this. I have a policy. I want you to call me at 3:30 in the morning and say, Dave Bones, are you thinking about
No, I
Pathways?
wouldn't do that.
I can testify that I have received email messages from Dave in the middle of the night. So I know he.
Me too.
That's very
but
nice. And
I've got
if I could have Dave your email, I'm not sure if I received any email communication from you, and then I would be able to. I don't have your email.
I am so slow in the chat. If you want to give me yours, I just save the chat. I will email you back.
Definitely.
Okay, let's do it.
Mine is H and my last name Periani at AOL.com.
Oh, great. And would you mind putting that in the private chat and I'll save that? That way
I'm on my cell phone. I'm not sure if I can.
Oh, okay. Let me
But
again.
I have called and Zoomed with Bhushan before about Pathway, and he kindly helped me. So Bhushan, I started to feel comfortable, but there is no way I can. It's not that I am not computer savvy. It's just I don't know. I don't know. I'm not making it priority, I guess.
You just have to do it. And
Yes. Okay. So Dave, did you get my email?
I can send an email to both of you to connect you.
Nice. Thank you, PJ.
I'll do that. Okay.
Cool.
Well, great. See, this is what you get when you stick around after. This is where it really happens.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you, Nick.
everyone.
Doctor, it was a very nice presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hemi.
Excellent presentation, Gwendolyn.
Thank you, Eldred.
I should say as well, I was kidding about the 3:30 in the morning. Please don't call me at 3:30 in the morning.
I'm going to call, see if you answer.
Email is okay, yeah.
Send that email and then you'll answer.
Yes.
Okay, folks. Well, I need to shut this down because I have to go off and start another one here in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you,
Excellent,
PJ.
Gwendolyn.
Thank you,
PJ.
Bhushan.
the internet.
Great job. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.